Hi, I'm finally arrived at Wilsingham. I'm 3/4 of the way I need to be for the day's achievement, and what I will say is it's slightly more difficult than I thought, but hopefully it'll get easier. The reason I've stopped here is, like I said, part of what I wanted to do is I went through MP's constituencies. I'd like to sort of raise a few issues, and hopefully maybe if they see this they'd like to respond. This is currently my local MP, which is Mr. Richard Holden. He's been here for nearly coming up for 5 years now, and there was a motion put less than 2 weeks ago in Parliament to call for a ceasefire between Israel and Gaza. He voted against that. I'd like to ask him why. I doubt he will respond. The response is Israel has the right to defend itself. I'm not quite sure killing babies in hospitals is self-defense, but or starving 2 million people, or turning off water, food, power, medicine to them. I understand what happened on the 7th of October is traumatic to that nation. It'd be traumatic to any occasion, but doesn't everyone has a right to defend itself, Mr. Holden? Doesn't everyone have the right to listen? The other reason I want to bring it up about, and this is not partly political, I've got to say this, I'm fed up of having a set of people in charge of this country, more or less making laws based on I'm not even quite sure what they make, but what they base them on. But generally, it goes back to the thing that I want to address, the divisions that are created in society. He come into power on the back of Brexit, right or wrongly, it doesn't really make any difference. Once again, it was a dividing point. It was just another dividing point. Do you know what I mean? It's just another thing that's pushed on us by press and media, and all that type of stuff. Do you know what I mean? And rarely given any thought other than how it can be used as a tool. I just want to ask him, watching what he's watched over the last 50 odd days happen, how can he then say, yeah, carry on, guys? Do you know what I mean? Because 15,000 or whatever, 12,000 dead and half of them children, that's just not enough yet. I mean, what sort of, this is the people that we are putting into positions of power. We are doing this. We have the opportunity to change this. And part of that, what I want to say is, I don't believe that Labour, the guy who's currently standing against him in the next, well, actually I don't even know if he's standing against him in the next election, but if he does stand against him in the next election, what his point of view? And maybe he'd like to get in touch, maybe he'd like to point out what his views is, maybe he'd like to say whether he believes that it should carry on or it should stop, because it is as simple as that, really. Do you know what I mean? Or is he just going to be another merchant of division? Do you know what I mean? Better us than them. I've got to the point now where, personally, I think it's a bit like gin and tonic. Do you know what I mean? You can have gin and tonic or gin and tonic with lime. I mean, admittedly, with lime, it's slightly different. However, you still end up with a hangover in the morning and wondered why things haven't got any better. And I think this is where we are. And I think this is what needs to change. It's time to put people in Parliament who have morality, do you know what I mean, who have backbone, you know what I mean, who are actually not going to do whatever the guy at the top end is telling them to do, and actually going to start working for the people. Not being sponsored or taking gifts from a myriad of companies. So for me, this constituency is not going to exist. It's going to be incorporated. Mr. Holden is now chairman of the Conservative Party. He has an opportunity to stand up now and show his morality, show his integrity, stand in front of the people who elected him and say, well, I delivered on all my promises. Do you not agree? I remember them promises. It was a land of milk and honey. Everything was going to be better. everything's been better for him. I'm not quite sure whether it's been better for us. But that's yours. Everyone needs to make that decision themselves. But he come to power on the back of division. There you go. Just remember this. This is where I look at it. If he's happy to allow that to happen and go unchecked in one country, don't ever think he wouldn't allow it to go unchecked here. Right. So I'm going to carry on to the final destination for the day, and yeah, we'll start again tomorrow. Follow me on a walk for peace, or even better, join me.